Hello and welcome to the Summit for American Qualifiers. My name is Lyrical Gangster, and I'll be joining you on a wonderful journey today as we take a look at a wonderful matchup. It's going to be Team Leviathan versus NoT.Today here, and as we just get everything all set up and ready and wonderful, the game is about to begin. So let's start off right away at the very beginning. Team Leviathan here are going to opt to ban on out the Shadow Fiend as well as the Templar Assassin. Dark Seer and Tusk are going to be other bans, and we're just waiting now for the last pick here as well. Team Leviathan opting to go for an Ember Spirit pickup.
Team pick.
Kind of an interesting one there to go for at such an early point in time in this game. Is a really strong laning hero and has the potential to go either in that mid lane or in the safe lane, but I'm really excited to see how this ends up turning out for them. Sometimes a hero that can be occasionally shut down pretty significantly by silences. Worth noting, Night Stalker is still in the pool here as well, which I feel like is a pretty great answer for that Ember Spirit if you do want to run him in that offlane position. Can rotate around the map, make a whole bunch of stuff happen. They actually go for a Shadow Shaman pickup here. Very, very interesting. Into a Winter Wyvern as well. So this is somewhat interesting here. You've got a heck of a lot of lockdown now. Hex, they're going to be able to have a pretty decent, obviously the instantaneous cast point is really great. You've also got the ability to toss on out the Shackles, which did recently get a buff in terms of the amount of damage that they do. And then we're going to see Leviathan go for the Pudge right off the bat. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do it right up here now. Starting off the Summit 4 American Qualifiers. Absolutely lovely. Leviathan is a team that really is fairly well known for being able to sort of toss out that Pudge play, oftentimes on the offlaner for Jenkins, and just really go to town with it. So I'm curious how NoT.Today is going to end up going for it. And Pudge is just one of those picks that you end up picking this hero up. There's no there's no middle ground for Pudge. You're either just going to completely and totally devastate the enemy team with your hooks, or it's just going to look really, really rough and rugged in terms of the actual follow through there in terms of landing those hooks. But it's certainly going to create a lot of drama and interesting components to this game. So Queen of Pain going to be the next one banned on out as well, not wanting to have to face up against it. The other thing about this as well is that it's a heck of a lot of investment early in those cores, and it lets you sort of be in a little bit of again, a precarious situation in terms of how well are they actually going to be able to sort of deal with potentially being countered later on down the line. Of course, Pudge not necessarily somebody that's going to be a huge impact in the later game unless he really starts snowballing hard. But still, you know, you end up picking up your Ember Spirit first, you end up picking up your Pudge first. You've got a lot of your cards out there, and being potentially in a position where you can get countered here. So we do see them banning out the Queen of Pain, as I mentioned, as well as the Lena now for NoT.Today. So in terms of the sort of dynamic of this draft, obviously Shadow Shaman, another hero that can pretty effectively split push. You know, he's got those snakes out there. He's going to be able to toss those out, have a big impact in the fight, but can also be a little bit vulnerable. And I think that's part of the reason why you ended up picking the Pudge here. You've got a hero that has a channeled ability, and that's kind of the easiest hook in the world. So certainly a possibility to get taken out with a quickness there. And we'll see if basically this Shadow Shaman is going to, I think, need to definitely pick up a Blink Dagger. And for as far as his targets go, I mean, if you're going for a Shadow Shaman, you're going to be going for probably either a very much group up and push and take stuff down quickly, or doing a major split pushy build. And if you're going for a major split pushy build, then instead of going for team fights, you're going to be more likely looking for pickoffs. And because of that, he doesn't need to be super careful about his shackles. But picking up the Invoker here, and then Leviathan going for the Wind Ranger as well, this could still go either way, really. I feel like NoT.Today have really left themselves quite open in terms of what their draft wants to be. As have Leviathan, they're not really wanting to take not revealing a ton necessarily now, but still very, very interesting start to this draft. Invoker, also not a hero that we've seen a ton, but with the buffs that he's received in 6.85, has been seeing more and more play, so there's something to be said there. He can be played, you can sort of go the Necro book route with him and, you know, being able to run down heroes a lot, or you can go the sort of Quas Wex, much more built around trying to have a big team fight presence, get, you know, pick-offs there as well, and then Night Stalker picked up next. You know, it's really interesting. I feel like probably the Radiant could have gotten away fairly easily with picking up the Night Stalker first and Shadow Shaman at the later stages of the game, but instead opting to sort of flip those picks around. And I think this is going to be a really interesting one. I'm really very curious to see how this draft ends up turning out and what the game is going to end up looking like, because I think it's pretty clear Night Stalker here is going to be going in that off lane. You got Invoker mid, Winter Wyvern and Shadow Shaman are going to be playing that support role.
Remaining.
I'm believing that this is now going to be a safe lane Ember with a Pudge in the off lane, Wind Ranger mid. Although all three of these heroes really can kind of go in any of those lanes, except for Ember Spirit on the off lane, I would say. And they go for the Rubik next. Pretty great. There's a ton of really great spells to steal in this game. Actually, I think that probably Invoker and Shadow Shaman are going to be his two main targets, unless he's capable of picking up that Winter Wyvern ulti. But either way, still feeling pretty good about this so far. We see the Omni Knight band out now as well for the Radiant team, NoT.Today. And last band coming out here. I think that probably they are going to need to pick up that safe lane carry. PL still in the pool wouldn't be a terrible option, although Ember Spirit does, at the later stages of the game, definitely shut down that hero. If you're able to get the correct amount of farm up on him. And Juggernaut's going to be the one that's opted to ban out this time. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So we'll see how this goes. I think the Omni Knight as well, with no natural diffusal carriers so far on NoT.Today, a pretty decent ban out there as well. Certainly don't want to have to go up against, you know, be a Night Stalker, and running into a Guardian Angel can cause a lot of problems. And they're going for Lone Druid. Man, this is just the game of interesting picks so far. So the thing and the versatility that this gives you is it allows you to have a Shadow Shaman Winter Wyvern roaming mid at a relatively early stage. And I think that's pretty good, because Wind Ranger versus Invoker matchup can, I feel like, be a little bit more Wind Ranger favored depending upon the build that Invoker goes, and now you're giving your Invoker a good amount of opportunity to roam around, or to have people roam around and help out in his lane if they want to do that. And I think that versus the Pudge here, Lone Druid's a great pickup. You're going to be able, it's going to require a lot of really great micro on NoT.Today's side. Like, you're going to need to be able to put the bear in the path of those hooks and make sure your own Lone Druid himself does not end up getting taken out here. And I'm really curious to see how this game goes. I mean, a lot of off-meta picks, a decent amount of on-meta picks as well, but certainly is a very interesting situation. And I'm curious to see what this last one is here out of Team Leviathan in just a second. Should be another support, I'm imagining. Although if they wanted to, they still could do sort of a dual off-lane situation as well, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, certainly. But now with 25 seconds left, waiting to see what it is. And I think probably, what else is left in the pool now? Lion wouldn't be terrible. You know, being able to have another one of those sort of instant initiation heroes. Honestly, CM could be kind of interesting also. Although, yeah, I think that would be okay. CM could be pretty decent here. Another team fight oriented thing. And they go for Ancient Apparition. Very, very cool. So, very cool start to this game. Excited to see how it is all going to look. And let's take a second to see here. Absolutely wonderful. Good start to this game indeed. I think that this should be a really interesting matchup here. I think the AA pick definitely creates a lot of versatility in terms of how they want to run this. If they wanted to do this in somewhat of aggressive tri-lane, you could have that option now, because you can try and shut down the Lone Druid. You got Chilling Touch in there as well. I'm imagining we're still going to see fairly normal pickups here at the very beginning, but really great start so far, and I'm very, very excited to see how this match turns out. Really, really cool. All right. Just waiting for the last couple of people to get on into this one. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And here we go. Sum of 4. Qualifiers, Americas, getting into position here, ready for this game to begin. Should be a really, really great matchup. And already seeing Leviathan move on down and try and create a little bit of a potential for a gank coming on through. I do believe that NoT.Today here has a little bit of a better situation in terms of being able to deal with this. just by virtue of the fact that you've got, you know, a good amount of stunts here in the form of the Shadow Shaman. You're going to be able to lock people down with shackles. It does become a little bit problematic if all 5 heroes are here, though. And actually now, considering the Night Stalker's off to the side, they're going to be able to catch on to Schofield here, immediately getting caught out. Nice shackle, and there is first blood. Shadow Shaman goes down with a quickness, and Jenkins, trying to catch on out the bear here, isn't going to be able to get it. That slow is so devastating at the early stages of the game for that Pudge, and
30 seconds.
really great start so far. Excited to see how this game goes indeed. So, getting everything all ready here. They're actually going to be able to catch the bear again! A second time through here. Oh man, IWO just barely getting caught out there. Unfortunately, not able to make it happen. So, a little bit of a rough start already for NoT.Today. Leviathan able to pick off 2 early, really unfortunate kills there. And it's looking like already a very unfortunate start. I mean, the cooldown on the bear did get reduced, so it's not as big of a deal as it was, you know, previously. You ended up getting a very long time duration before the bear was going to be able to come back on in. But especially against this Pudge now, who has a very real possibility to be able to, you know, run down this lone druid. I think, considering that we do have the Shadow Shaman as well as the Winter Wyvern over on this side of the map, it shouldn't be as big of a deal, but still really unfortunate start. And let's do a quick little introduction to the players here. We're going to have Jenkins here for Leviathan playing the Pudge. Meanwhile, Shibby on that Wind Ranger. Up in the top lane, we got Nushim going to be playing the Rubik. This Flying Zebra is going to be your Ancient Apparitia. And Calling Jaw is going to be the Ember Spirit. Meanwhile, for NoT.Today getting lifted up. Oh my god, going to be catching immediately the Night Stalker. Chains go down one time as well, and one more right click is going to be enough. That's another 2-0 start for Team Leviathan. Goodness gracious. Action fast and furious here. But meanwhile, for NoT.Today, we've got Goody who's going to be playing the Winter Wyvern. Schofield, I did mention on that Shadow Shaman. We have IWO who's going to be playing the Lone Druid in the mid lane. DDX is going to be playing that Invoker. And last but not least, plotting his way on back towards the top lane is going to be Angel for NoT.Today on the Night Stalker. So taking a look at the matchup and the lanes here, I think this lane becomes really tough for this Night Stalker here. While he does have fairly decent armor at the start of the game, you know, 5 there obviously being really great. You've got a good nuke coming on out from the Rubik. You also have the fact that Chilling Touch is going to completely and totally devastate you in terms of that extra magical damage. So he needs to be really careful in this lane, and having already died once, it creates sort of a naturally difficult lane for him. And now Pudge here in the off lane, you know, getting the sort of upgraded rot there, it's still not going to really be able to effectively take down that Shadow Shaman in lane, unfortunately, just based upon the fact that you've got a heck of a lot of you take a good amount of damage with level 1 rot still, and it's really only best, gonna be able to deny the rune. Nicely done there by Goody. You're going to take a natural large amount of damage at the early levels, and if you've got 2 or 3 heroes hitting you at the same time, you're not really going to be able to make an effective use of that spell. And while the slow is great, basically if you turn around and fight the Pudge at that point in time, there's not a whole heck of a lot that he can do. But likewise, still do need to be careful. Once he gets that level 2, it's going to become a lot easier for him in lane. But so far, playing it very safe, not wanting to get caught out and feed away that early advantage he's been able to make for his team. Schofield does get a level in Shackles as well as that Ether Shock. While Angel as well, having a pretty decent time in lane so far. Not really a whole heck of a lot to write home about. I think that at this point, like, he's probably going to be able to rotate on over, get a little bit of EXP off to the side from this jungle camp here as well, if he wants to. But he needs to still be careful, because Rubik can lift him up to the high ground. While it's a little bit tough, it still can happen, and you need to be really careful about that sort of initiation that comes out. Haven't had a heck of a lot of time to talk about this Invoker yet. Did end up going for the Quas Exort build. He's going for the early Alacrity, getting him a good amount of bonus damage here based on his levels of Wex that he has. Does also have Sunstrike available, getting a little bit close here. Shibby can potentially get a kill if he's not careful. The Shackle was possibly there, but playing it a little bit safe now. Schofield off to the side as well. We do have Pudge up, still no level 2. He will get it right here. It looks like Schofield was trying to deny him out as much EXP as possible, but should have that hook, and as soon as he gets that, it becomes a very dangerous lane here for pretty much everybody else. It does look like they're going to be able to continue to last hit away like a champ. Need to be careful. Bear diving a little bit close to try and put a little bit of extra damage on the tower. Meanwhile, mid lane yet again. Windrun coming on up. Alacrity is there as well. It's going to be able to get a little bit more harassment off there on Shibby. Meanwhile, top lane yet again. Fortification coming on down. Not wanting to die too early here. The bear is going to be cutting creep waves though. With Lone Druid here as well, while it's fallen low, he does have a resummon up, so not really a huge problem at this point in time, despite the fact that the bear ended up dying early. There's the resummon, not going to be able to get that one off. Meanwhile, top lane, Ancient Apparition able to take on down the Night Stalker. Really nicely done there with the dive. This is so dangerous in both of these off lanes, like the cutting into the creep wave down here, and the tower falls at 4 minutes in. Are you freaking kidding me? So scary. NoT.Today already getting off to a pretty decent start, despite the fact that they ended up losing their Night Stalker in the offlane. He's still all the way up to level 3 at this point, so he's doing pretty good. And I'm really concerned about the fact that this Lone Druid is already getting a good amount. And honestly, what's to stop him from keeping on going here? Jenkins is going to end up getting dove here in a second. The Shackles are down as well. Sunstrike coming in as well. TP's abound. They are going to try and make some type of rotation. Going to be able to make it here. Shibby chasing IWO. We also have Nushim in the area as well, but they're not going to be able to find any kills here unless they focus back on Winter Wyvern. One-time power shot. Is it going to be enough? One more right click should do it. That's going to be a kill. Shackles now onto Shibby as well. The rotations are still coming in off to the side. Pudge trying to make his presence felt as well. That is going to be the Night Stalker taking out the A up in the top lane. Ember's still chasing. Oh, Schofield diving deep. Power shot not going to connect. He is just wasting time at this point in time. I don't think he finds a way out, but as much time as he's able to waste, it's just a benefit. And Jenkins here going to try and get the cleanup. Are they going to let him go? Did he honestly just make his way out? Meanwhile, up top, Night Stalker chasing as well onto the Ember Spirit. That's going to be another kill. Oh, goodness gracious. NoT.Today. They are not going to have any of it. Cold Feet is down. That's going to be another jump forward. Arctic Burn. Zebra's fallen really low as well. Yet again, the Cold Embrace is going to keep the Night Stalker alive for the reinitiation. Does he have a Void? Not quite yet. It looks like they might opt to chase. A little bit too dangerous. With Chilling Touch still up on the Ancient Apparition, they're going to let this one go, but man, oh man, early aggression abound. Let's take a look at the team net worth. So far, NoT.Today have been able to build a fairly sizable lead, just about 500 gold. In terms of EXP, it's looking to be a little bit into their favor as well, so not really anything super much to write home about, but after those 2 early kills there, being able to get both the Shadow Shaman and the Bear early from the Lone Druid, the fact that they've been able to turn this lane back around has been really impressive. IWO on this Lone Druid looking very strong. So the longer that this game goes on, I feel like it's probably more and more into the favor of Leviathan. Just based upon, like, obviously Lone Druid's carry potential isn't to be underestimated, and the fact that, you know, with the Aghanim Scepter upgrade now, you can essentially have a 6th hero on the map. But I don't know if that is a realistic goal. Like, I feel like the power curves there, while you can still continue to get more and more items up on the LD, I think that Ember Spirit hits this power point where he is just like super strong and almost untouchable at around that 50-minute mark. And I think that probably if he's able to get relatively decent farm throughout the whole course of this game, he's going to be in a pretty good spot. So taking a look at that net worth, it is looking to be a little bit into the favor of Lone Druid at this point in time. We're going to see a smoke on up here. Might be able to find somebody off to the side. Leviathan, Flying Zebra, Nushim, and Shibby all taken over. Meanwhile, top lane yet again. Night Stalker able to take out the Ember Spear. What a hook! Are you kidding me? Angel is going to end up getting taken down there in the end, and I don't know if they're actually going to be able to find a kill down here in the bot lane. They're actually wrapping around. Lone Druid does not have a TP. The Bear is in a little bit of trouble here. There are going to be 4 heroes rotating over to try and find this one, and I think this is going to be a kill. Jump forward is going to be a lift. Oh my god, he's falling fast. Shackle and everything else tossed out. The kitchen sink, everything that you could possibly want. This is going to create a little bit of space here to the side to be able to push on down the mid tower yet again. A nice little 600, 700 gold swing into their favor, and really effective rotations so far out of NoT.Today, or out of Leviathan, excuse me. They were able to get that kill there. Jump forward, catches the chains, does miss, unfortunately, there. We do also have the Shadow Shaman as well as the Winter Wyvern. They're actually going to be able to catch off to the side here. There is going to be the Arctic Burn. Another Shackles landing. Silent. Oh, he's going to go down. Well done there. Doesn't even matter about that. You got the pure damage coming on out. You're ready to go. Super duper solid. Invoker ends up picking up that kill, and that's important to do, to be able to shut down that Ember Spirit. It does look like Invoker next is going to be picking on up his Hand of Midas in just a second here. After going 101, as well as getting a good amount of the last hits throughout the course of this game, certainly not at all unheard of to make that happen. It looks like Lone Druid here is going to opt to try and rotate on up to the top lane, make something happen. Mid lane, Shibby trying to push this down. This is the key component of the Wind Ranger here, is that, you know, when your opposing offlaner ends up going and trying to push on down and be able to farm on out the jungle, you can rotate on over and really effectively take down this mid tower. So unless Invoker ends up coming back really quickly here, I think that we're still going to be in a situation where you're going to be able to push down this mid tower. And Invoker isn't the fastest jungling hero in the game either. He does get a good amount of right click coming out from his alacrity, and right now you see he's hitting for 130. Ain't nothing to mess with. But regardless, he doesn't flash farm as much and as quickly as a hero like, an Ember Spirit or a Tiny or something like that, who can pop on up either, the Avalanche toss combo or Shadow Fiend, another great example. So it's the one area of his kit that, while he did get buffed in 6.85, it creates a little bit of a predicament there. And because of that, Shibby might be able to take advantage of that, push down the tower, focus fire it out once he gets his next creep wave here, and really apply some pressure to the map control that you've got out of NoT.Today. And that's something that it can't be overstated how important that is. Like, let's see, they're setting up for something here. Jenkins waiting for somebody to appear in lane, and this should be a focus fire immediately. They do not have a glyph backup for another couple of seconds, so this is falling quickly. It does look like they realize this is happening, probably was spotted out by the ward right over here to the side, and they're just going to actually sack this tower. Really unfortunate there. Do get the glyph right back up now. They're not going to use the glyph. All right, so setting up for a team fight now. Qilin Qua is getting ready as well. Yeah, they're going to be able to take it. So just a little bit of more, that was really smart there by NoT.Today. They knew they weren't going to be able to get it. Continue to get farm up on your heroes, prepared just in case there is going to be some type of retaliation. But with Pudge sitting up on the high ground, which they spotted out with the ward, I think that that's going to be the correct decision by them. And so far, once again, the vision is super important, because the longer you're able to survive without it, Angel might be able to find somebody. The more pressure you're able to apply to a Night Stalker early in terms of the vision he's allowed to have, the better it becomes later in the game. Oh my god, Schofield is just going to get ran down here. No questions asked. That's just going to be a straight up kill. Oh, wards do get caught. This might actually be a kill here for Jenkins if he's not careful. Oh god, the Sunstrike not quite going to be there in time. Wand charges abound. The bear is chasing, trying to create a little bit of a situation here where he catches him out. Night Stalker pops the darkness as well, and it looks like they're going to be fine. Maybe Wind Ranger getting the DD might be able to come on in here and make something happen, but they're going to have to back on out. So just get a free kill there. That was really freaking close, but meanwhile, mid lane, we do have Shibby off to the side here with the DD rune up, ready to contest this if they want to. Not quite able to get the deny, unfortunately. Void down on Shibby, and that is going to end any thoughts of pushing any further in this team fight. What the heck has been going on in this game? We're at 12 kills, 2 to 3 towers down at just about the 10-minute mark, and no real hold bar here at all. Schofield did end up dropping the snakes there, unfortunately, so that's going to somewhat limit his ability to push down this tower. That being said, Leviathan aren't in a great position to be able to defend this. It would require a whole heck of a lot of TPs. Pudge does have 3 of them, and it looks like they do want to do just that. They're going to come and contest this. Meanwhile, down in the bot lane, Lone Druid has a TP, but it's not going to be as close as an initiation point in terms of his ability to come and help out the team fight as this Ember Spirit's going to be. So this could be a little bit rough now. Invoker is out in front as well. It does look like they're going to try to come around from the other side. Jenkins does spot them on out over to the side here. This is going to be an initiation. Shackles onto 2 as well. AA Blast coming in. That's going to be able to take down all 3 of these heroes in just a second. Sunstrike, we don't care about that, is going to be able to hit the meatball on top of Chibi, but he's going to be able to get away as well. That's the bite down as well. 4 heroes dead for 1. Lone Druid might be next as well. They're going to try and chase as quickly as they can, but I think that the Lone Druid should be able to get out. No? Chains connects. A little bit scary. Oh, there's the hook! Able to catch IWO. The Bearman goes down. Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. That's what I'm talking about. You take a look at Pudge and what this hero is capable of doing. It's all or nothing. It either looks amazing or it looks like trash. And Jenkins making it happen. Very, very nicely done there. Exceptional play here out of Leviathan so far, and it's just that one big team fight. They ended up knowing that they were going to be able to contest. They come on in, make their presence felt, and then back on out. So exceptionally well played. It also was worth noting that the Shadow Shaman didn't have wards for that fight. I think the biggest thing was just being able to initiate immediately and have that AA blast land onto 3. It's so difficult to fight into that. And after this, we do see NoT.Today come and try and contest a little bit more. They want to shut down whatever vision they can and whatever map control they possibly can. We do have a ward here by the Radiant, which is going to spot out Flying Zebra, so it's a little bit unfortunate. It looks like they're just going to leave this tower alone, though, and Angel going to back on out. They were looking for Pudge, weren't quite able to find him. and they're going to trade towers instead. So Newsham pushing on down here. I don't think he's actually going to be able to get it, honestly, but not the biggest deal in the world. So Invoker gets the tower. I mean, they ended up winning the team fight, and that's the key thing here. I mean, you take a look at the team net worth. Leviathan, despite losing that tower, is still pretty far ahead. It's a really even game considering. I mean, if you take a look, the EXP lead very, very much in the favor of Leviathan, but it's just the tower push that we've been seeing, consistently being able to make that happen. And, you know, when you've got this lineup here with, you know, Invoker right-clicking like a champ, he's got the Lone Druid Bear there aside him as well. So much damage coming out, and they're just going to be ready to take these towers consistently. Mid lane yet again, we do have a little bit of initiation off to the side here. Wind Ranger's going to be able to keep them off the towers fairly well. Okay. Don't worry, guys. We're going back in. Occasionally, Reborn does have some problems. We make sure that everything is still hunky-dory here. It does look pretty solid. Yep. All right, wonderful. Going back in. Just Reborn things, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we didn't miss a whole heck of a lot. It does look like they're setting up for a potential snipe over here to the side. Flying Zebra, Jenkins, and Chaluqua are in the area. It does look like the Dire, or the Radiant rather, have some notion that this is going on, though. And we're just going to back on out. The nice ward is going to keep everything all hunky-dory. The Invoker off to the side here as well should be able to queue on up Ghostwalk if anything does get a little bit too fresh and dangerous. But again, you're just seeing this 5-man push here, and the AA, such a great hero. Oh, Invoker, Shackle, gonna be able to hit there. DDX is gonna go down. Nicely, nicely done. Maybe gonna be able to make his way out of here. Are you freaking kidding me? No! Oh, Sentry Ward one time, thank goodness. That would have been terrible. Really, really well played there by Newsham to make sure he was carrying that necessary detection to succeed in the gank. That's sort of one of those times in your pubs where you might end up getting taken out if, or being able to get away because, you know, no supports by detection or whatever. But very much above that, making sure Leviathan is on top of their game. So, Schofield going to try and defend this a little bit. Does need to be ever so slightly afraid. Ember Spirit, well, he doesn't have a heck of a lot of farm. He does have travels now. Should be able, actually, he's going to be able to catch here. Schofield's in a lot of trouble. Oh, he needs to be careful, actually. It's a really good decision there to not go on him. Considering that he had wards up as well as Hex and channeled Shackles, he probably could have killed there because he doesn't need to necessarily burn through the shield. If he wanted to, he could burn through it with the Ether Shock, I believe, but would still be able to deal that physical damage through it with the wards anyways. So I think that would have been a situation where, despite the fact that you can clearly see that NoT.Today are trying to have this pushing draft where they're going to be able to sort of consistently make stuff happen and get kills and that type of stuff and push down these towers, build a net worth advantage, it's still a situation where if you can get a kill on sort of the safe lane hero there, the eventual carry, it's really completely and totally worth it. DDX playing things a little bit dangerous. Does look like Night Stalker is going to opt to pop his ulti as well. Thought about going on there onto the Ancient Apparition, but thinking the better of it now instead. Flying Zebra moving on through. He has been able to pick on up an urn for himself. Other items across the board. Wind Ranger now working on the Aghanim Scepter. Down here to the side, Ember Spirit's going to be able to pick on up drums. Does also have those Boots of Travel. Always, always so key in terms of your ability to defend split pushes abound. So Pudge now as well, having a good amount. He hasn't actually been able to get that much, but it looks like he's saving up for his Blink Dagger. And considering he's only died once, not at all bad. But it's looking a little bit at this point in time. Oh, might be able to find something here. The Ember Spirit is off to the side. Does he have a Remnant behind him? He does have one way back there. There's the instant initiation, though. Could be in a little bit of trouble. Shackles comes down. As long as this Sunstrike lands, oh, Winter's Curse is going to secure it. Nicely, nicely done there. But it looks like we do have rotations off to the side. If they didn't Winter's Curse there, they don't get that kill. That's just straight up all that you have to say about it, because he was going to be able to Remnant away instantaneously. And so I think, again, that's one of those situations where you think about those big ultis, the ability to lock down the Ember Spirit, deny him his farm that he wants, slow down his progression to his next item. All of these things are really, really key in terms of making sure that your team is able to push that high ground down. So nicely, nicely done. Off to the side there. What else do we have over here? Jenkins now as well. Level 9, not bad at all. We have Shibby continuing to be able to push this on out. Only about 400 gold away from picking on up the Aghanim Scepter. Flying Zebra Dota doing his thing. NoT.Today, meanwhile, on the Night Stalker, he's been able to pick on up an urn as well. He's going to be going straight for that point booster, wanting to get that vision up for the Aghanim Scepter. DDX in the mid lane. He does have the Hand of Midas up as well as a Necro book, so pretty solid there. IWO, not a whole heck of a lot to speak about so far. His bear is been able to pick on up a Orb of Venom that had that since the very start, as well as Maelstrom. Meanwhile, Schofield as well does have that nice little Arcane Boots, giving his team the extra little bit that he needs, and Winter Wyvern with the Soul Ring going to be perfectly fine as well. So kind of a little bit of a farming war type-esque thing, and I think that probably, you know, again, when you're sort of committing to a bit of this pushing draft and trying to close down the vision and with the Night Stalker Ags, it's sort of worth it at this point for Leviathan to not try and push their luck too much. Like, the potential of team fight that comes on out from the Invoker here is just really, really strong. And if they try and group up and take a team fight full on, then you're just going to get split pushed to death to a large extent. Ooh, not quite able to hit the hook there, unfortunately. Pudge still looking for that opportunity. Does have a Blink Dagger, so if he wants to, he can just jump it right in on somebody and just bite away, which would be pretty solid as well. Aghanim Scepter now picked up by the Wind Ranger. This might be their opportunity if they wanted to try and fight. But again, it's so hard with the split push that comes out from this side here. Oh, a little bit of something unfortunate going on. Goodness gracious, Reborn, why you do this to me? Holy Toledo. All right, we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, we're good. That's going to be a smoke coming on out now as well by NoT.Today. They might be able to find somebody here. I don't think... You know what? They might just be going straight for Roche at this point in time. If they sneak a Roche right here, this would be huge. They can definitely do it with the Snake Wards being dropped down as well. It does look like there's some inkling that they might have an idea this is going on over here. Ancient Apparition is going to be able to drop on in. He's waiting, like, toss down. Oh, they are going to be able to know that this is going on, actually. A Blast coming in as well. The Snakes have already been dropped. That's going to be a hook on back. Did end up hitting onto one of the Forge Spirits, so nothing going to be happening quite yet. But this is going to be the new point right here. I don't think that NoT.Today want to stick around. It's too dangerous for them to be sitting in the low ground here with so much potential for counter initiation. That's going to be the jump forward. Roche does end up going down there. They're going to be able to catch Winter's Curse, immediately killing down the Pudge. He was able to take the Aegis. They also got the Roche kill as well, trying to jump away. Jenkins making his escape, able to take down DDX again. Lone Druid kills him in return though, so that's both burned. Now going to try and just get out of here if they possibly can. Leviathan do not want to fight any further, already using AA Blast. It looks like Flying Zebra's going to end up going down. Nushin making his escape. No, the Shackles end up connecting, so the Aegis steal, was it worth it? I don't... Let's take a look at the fight recap, see what they say. 41 gold was apparently spread across. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. There we go. It's the real one. So 500 gold swing. Considering that they were able to get the Aegis, considering that Invoker ended up going down as well, kind of a back and forth. I still think that that's much more worth it for Team NoT.Today. And you do see that they did end up losing a decent amount in that last fight, but honestly, it's just one of those things where you get the potential to push down now after this. And being able to take the tier 2 after that fight, despite the fact they ended up losing the Aegis, not being able to pick that one up, really, really solid there. Bottle ends up getting dropped and ever so kindly refilled. Yeah, nice, wonderful. Always good to see that happen. So, DDX up. He's ready to go. Has his Necro book level 3 up in the top lane as well. We have Schofield off to the side. 2,000 gold sitting on this man, so should be picking up. Oh god, if Shibby is able to get a kill here, that would be so key, but no, wisely going to back on out. Now here comes the initiation, jump forward bite on the DDX, A Blast coming in as well. That is a super freaking dead Invoker, and they are also going to be able to get the kills here on the summons as well. Nicely done there to use the Sleight of Fist to dodge any potential damage. Coming back in on top of him. Meanwhile, IWO, Arcane, or excuse me, Tranquil Boots on him. That would be not the build. Meanwhile, Spirit Bear does have those Phase Boots up, as well as Hyperstone and Maelstrom. So really, really set up and ready to go there. Wind Ranger, meanwhile, just going to try and push out the top lane instead. Jenkins picking on up the Bounty Rune. Wanted to potentially deny that, but it looks like this is going to be the next point of contention. Worth noting, Leviathan haven't been able to take a tower yet, so a little bit of a precarious situation here. Are they going to be able to get the initiation that they want? We do have the Night Stalker in the area. He's been able to pick up 2 components. That's going to be a lift on top of the bear, just tossing it back, wanting to make sure that they get a clean retreat, and it looks like they're going to be able to. So a little bit scary, but no big problems yet. Leviathan still able to make their way away. Does look like Shibby is going to win run away from the Shadow Shaman. not having complete and total vision of where everybody is. Invoker was off the map at that point in time. It looks like, though, we're just going to continue to have NoT.Today just pushing down this top lane. All of the tier 1s are gone now at this point in time for Leviathan, and while they are still, I think, in a really reasonable spot, when you take a look at the net worth, it's a 2k gold lead, but not really super significant, I don't feel like. It could still go either way. Like, Leviathan need to be able to defend this. They can't really give up another tower for free, I feel like. So let's see, off to the side, Alacrity to Bear, terrifying. Now, this is going to be a hook on back. This is going to end up being a kill here in just a second, but immediately resummoning the Bear, and that's going to end up being a kill. Invoker getting the kill. That's going to be a shackle onto the Bear. Still perfectly fine, no big deal. With the Blink Dagger up on the Shadow Shaman, they can reinitiate at any given point in time. And what do you do against this lineup? You toss out the Bear there. He's got Alacrity up, dealing a hell of a lot of damage. The attack speed abound as well. This Invoker has opted to max out Exort, as well as getting 1 in Wex. So at this point in time, Alacrity deals up to an extra 90 damage and 30 attack speed. Really, really hard to compete against in terms of damage output from this Bear. And you know, just in general, how do you deal with that? You want to be able to get the perfect type of initiation like Jenkins got. He landed the hook, able to follow up the bite. The Bear got destroyed, but just consistently able to resummon this Bear. You know, you take a look at what that cooldown has been reduced to, 120 seconds. Every 2 minutes you have the potential to slow siege any lane that you want. You know, this is really impressive here, and I think that it's something not to be overstated. They do end up catching the Bear, though. Oh, Disaster Strikes. That's going to be a little while before that ends up being able to respawn. He just got that one, so another minute. I mean, it's not terrible, but not the best either. Here comes the initiation, potentially. Skullfield does have that Invis rune up. Might be able to find his potential. That's a jump forward. Snakes down as well. There's the Shackle. This could be a kill here with the Invoke coming in. Oh, God, just barely able to make his way out. Oh, A Blast coming in. Here comes Schofield. Not where he wants to be at all. He is going to have backup, though, thankfully. And that's actually Snakes dropped as well, so weren't able to get the kill. Oh, that's really frustrating. And now Night Stalker has his Aghanim Scepter as well, so maybe a little bit of recompense coming back into the way of Team NoT.Today. Goodness gracious. IWO, picking up the plate mail. So this is going to be a smoke coming on in. Roshan obviously not back up again for 4 minutes. So they're going to be looking to try and find a pick-off at this point in time, hopefully thinking that somebody is off over there going to be farming the lane, or at least maybe taking Ancients. But it doesn't look like they're going to find... Oh, God, if they're able to find Zebra, that'd be really unfortunate. Maybe they're just going to try and see if they can take a team fight up top here. All right. Observer Ward for the Dire does end up spotting this out. I think that they should know that something funky's going on. Darkness gets popped. They're split up a little bit, though. That's going to be a lift up on top of the Rubik. Meanwhile, Night Stalker trying to chase after the Pudge as well. Are they going to be able to find over here to the side? A Blast comes out. That's a dead Shadow Shaman. Maybe going to be able to turn this back around. Winter Wyvern up on the high ground. Do they have the potential to reinitiate? No, they're in trouble now. Winter Wyvern separated. Nice hook shot right there by the Pudge. Exceptionally well done. We do get the Shackle out as well. This is going to be a chase down on the bot lane. Lone Druid continue to get chased over here. Meanwhile, his Bear is going to end up getting killed as well. That's a chains caught one time. Are they going to be able to make this happen? Wind Ranger is here as well. I think that this is going to be another kill here. One last Ether Strike, and the Wind Ranger gets the kill. All right, Leviathan turning it back around. That hook shot was so freaking key there. Exceptionally well played. All right, and now potentially going to be able to take on down this tier 1 here as well. The Glyph does come out, but it's just to be able to slow them down a little bit. Taking a look at the net worth now, Leviathan very, very much in the lead and able to turn around that would-be gank. You saw it there. It was just a little bit of hesitation and separation. The Night Stalker wanted to jump off to the heroes on the left-hand side. The Winter Wyvern got stuck up on the cliff. Across the board, it was just a little bit unfortunate the way that it ended up working out. So Leviathan bringing it back, able to make it happen, jumping forward. Oh, where is the connect? He doesn't know where he is, but he knows he's around here somewhere. Nice silence onto the Pudge as well. Maybe they're going to be able to turn this one back around yet again. He does have a hook shot, misses the hook. Oh, all or nothing. That's going to be a freaking... Oh, God, it's all going down. Sunstrike comes out. They're going to be able to take out Nusham as well. I don't know if the Ember Spirit wants to engage onto this. Still able to get the kill, and now is going to be able to make his escape. Thankfully, the end of the day, Shibby as well as the Ember Spirit are able to make their way out of there. Close, close, close indeed, though. Now taking a look at that fight recap. A little 1,200 gold swing in the favor of Team NoT.Today. Really, really solidly done. So the push strats continue, though. And at this point in time, it's really hard to imagine NoT.Today wanting to stop. The question is, Are they going to be able to take this next Roshan and make something of it? Because I think that if they're able to really effectively take on down Rosh, you know, take down this last tier 2 beforehand, potentially force a good fight when 2 heroes are dead, they're not going to be able to do that. But they can probably at least take this next Rosh. They're going to be able to take down the tier 2 tower, no question about it. A blast or nothing, they're still going to be able to take it. It does end up hitting onto several of them. Darkness ends up getting popped, though. They're going to make sure that they're not getting initiated on. Everything all hunky-dory. Meanwhile, as well, the Ember Spirit's going to be able to come on over here, farm on out the jungle, as well as push out the bottom lane. So all good, all wonderful. Schofield here is going to end up running into the Ember Spirit. Does Remnant away. Very nice decision there. Jenkins trying to jump yet again. Able to take on down that creep. Ooh, wanted the hook. Didn't get the hook. Don't worry, nobody saw. All right. So Rosh back up again in just a second. A relatively short one. I think that at this point in time, if you're either side, you just got to consistently check to make sure that this Rosh isn't back up. And if you do spot it early, then you go on in and try and take it on down. And I don't know, again, like that last team fight, I felt like, oh my god, Wind Ranger has a Daedalus as well. That last team fight, I felt like Leviathan had a relatively okay initiation. They were able to get the AA blast off on everybody inside the Rosh pit. But it just wasn't quite good enough with the Winter's Curse coming out and being able to sort of disable all of that. It just didn't end up all working out for them. So I still think Leviathan has an okay chance to defend the Rosh pit as long as they're still able to get that solid AA blast. But it becomes so much harder now that Night Stalker has his Aghanims. Invoker as well, looking to pick up his next item. Could be an Aghanim Scepter as well. Octarine has been known to be built on Invoker, but I feel like probably at this point Aghanims would make him a really, really potent team fighting hero. Could be Bloodstone as well, just to get that cooldown in terms of his respawn timer. Like, it's not, it shouldn't be underrated. Like, if this game is going to be sort of one of those pushing type of crazy games like that, where you're just sort of consistently wanting to make sure that you're able to have your respawn timer cooldown a little bit lower, then it really makes a big difference. But nonetheless, not going to be seeing any items anytime soon. They're going to kill this Roshan so freaking quickly. Necronomicon's abound. We got Forge Spirits here. We got Alacrity. Rosh ends up falling. Leviathan not quite there in time to be able to contest it all. And Invoker is actually going to be the one that picks up the Aegis. So kind of an interesting choice there. He does have 2,800 gold in the bank. IWO. Sitting pretty with his nice little bear friend. Does have the AC on up as well as the Maelstrom. Jenkins looking for his initiation point. Does also have the Force Staff now, so if he wants to, always got the option there for Blink Force, but it looks like Slow Siege is going to start coming. There are the snakes coming on out immediately. Able to get the hook. Hits onto the Necronomicon, so nicely done there as well. It's going to be Alacrity, Cold Embrace up on the bear, keeping him alive a little bit longer. Shibby is just going to try and keep this pushed out as long as possible, but it looks like they're going to opt to not push on up here. And with the bear being a little bit lower, they don't want to waste the Aegis. Let's push out all the lanes, get a little bit of extra farm, call it good for today. Well, that being said, Jenkins with the mobility as well as the hook certainly has the potential to catch somebody out here. Does have another blink in just a second, waiting for his opportunity. Being said, if he hooks back at this point in time, might be a little bit scary because he'd be separated from the rest of his team because of said same mobility. Invoker does go for the Ags. I think that makes the most sense. Bloodstone, not doing that. That's dumb. Right, so let's see. Blind Zebra Dota now as well. Does have 2 components of his Aghanim Scepter. Still a decent amount away from that one. Rubik as well has been able to pick on up a Soul Ring as well as one of those nifty Ogre Clubs that everybody loves. Should be Daedalus. He's got damage galore. Love to see something like a Blade Mail come out from one of these heroes. Could potentially see it on the Lone Druid. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. There's the jump forward. Jenkins ends up getting caught. Oh, this is a little bit bad right here. The A Blast is going to come out, but to no avail. I don't think it's really going to be enough to do anything with no Aghanim Scepter, and this is going to be their opportunity to push high ground. This is actually disastrous for Leviathan. Any small opening like this, and they're going to be able to take this one on out. Do get another Cold Embrace up on Spirit Bearer. That's going to bring him back on up to a really high HP point. He can push on in as much as he wants. Going to leave the creeps to tank the tower, if at all possible, and then this tier 3 is going to fall so quickly. There's the lift on up yet again. That's going to be a catch, though. Oh, cancels that shackle onto 2 as well. Angel's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Off to the side, Wind Ranger was able to take down that Shadow Demon and might be looking for more as well. Shadow Shaman, excuse me. The bear comfortable with taking on out the tower. And you know what? I think that they trade this, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get away. Goody taking a little bit of damage here as well. We do have another chains in just a second. Cold Embrace one more time. Angel is going to be able to make his way away. Goody does fall in the end. Able to steal Cold Embrace on the Rubik as well. So nice pickup there. At the end of the day, taking a look at that fight recap, 1,500 gold swing into the favor of Leviathan. You take a look at net worth at this point in time. It does still look like NoT.Today up in the lead after being able to take out that tier 3 tower. So they've got exposed barracks now. Also took out the melee barracks. How the heck did that happen that quickly? Oh my god, Spirit Bear is a tank. He's not afraid of anything. Deals so much damage with the Alacrity up. It's ridiculous. Okay. So Aegis Reclaim in another 2 minutes. They've got the potential to push on in again if they want to. They do still have all of the craziness coming out from Invoker. Hasn't opted to put a whole heck of a lot more points into that Wex yet. He's going to try and make some type of initiation here with the Shadow Shaman in the area as well. Meatball comes down. That's going to be a Shackles. One more right click. Invoker takes out the Ember Spirit. Meanwhile, off to the side, Lone Druid able to make short work of the Pudge as well. Ooh, Leviathan. Oh no, Invoker's going to pick up a Blink Dagger as well. This initiation is just too strong, as well as the combination of the Spirit Bear Invoker. So freaking tanky. The slow siege is real. Oh god, and it's just, it's one of those things where they don't have enough push right now on Leviathan, I feel like, or at least the team fights haven't quite been there for them. Like, you take a look in terms of the ability, just one small little pick off there on the Pudge ends up turning this around so completely and utterly that it's really devastating. Up in the top lane, Invoker now with Necronomicon, as well as a Blank Dagger, as well as Aegis. They're going to push on in here, and honestly, I don't know if they're going to be able to defend this now. You know, Ember Spirit's back on down. We do have buyback on him as well. Nah, not on Pudge. He's, oh god, this is really looking rough. They do have a chance here to be able to initiate solidly. Nicely done there. A Blast actually doesn't hit on anybody, though. Jenkins catch onto Goody one more time. Again, Spirit Brave falling low. He is going to end up surviving, though, somehow. There's a Sunstrike on top of Jenkins. The Lone Druid is able to take down the tower, though, making work of the melee barracks as well now, and I don't know if they really are going to be able to stop this. We talked about it a ton before. Shackle doesn't end up landing. Chains do. They do have the Focus Fire now on top of them. Invoker ends up taking out the A. This is really bad now. Cold Embrace one time. Jenkins saving a life a little bit. Ancient Apparition buyback yet again. Winter's Curse on top of the Ember Spirit, trying to run away. Shackle does end up hitting. Goody is falling low a little bit. Not getting focus, though. Winter Wyvern able to make his way away, and I think now with the Lotus Orb up on Angel, he's going to be able to make his escape potentially. One time? No, that's going to be another hit there as well. Another A Blast going to be able to connect. One more time, Angel gets shackled and killed. The Aegis is reclaimed, and now Invoker is going to try to ghost walk away, but I don't know if he's going to make his escape. Goody falling really low. That's going to be a complete and total disaster. Like, at the end of the day, though, they still are able to take the barracks. You take a look at, oh, they took the tier 3 tower, so not the barracks. Oh, God. Why? So they hold. The tier 3 tower falls, but they hold. Fight recap very much into the favor of Leviathan. 1,600 gold swing into their favor. And you take a look, NoT.Today, though, still so far ahead just because of that, the tower advantage. Like, tier 2s are still up across the board for Leviathan. They don't have the ability to sort of push this out, and now that they're actually getting racks consistently across the board, it's so much harder to push it out and take those towers even to begin with. So, really, really frustrating at this point, I would imagine, for Team Leviathan. And I'm not sure exactly what it is that... I think that probably what it is they just don't have enough push. Like, their main source of it right now is Wind Ranger, and sometimes that's a position that you would fill with your off lane, I feel like. And because they ended up going for Pudge, it was a much more gank and kill-oriented lineup, which is why you see a 15 to 22 in terms of the kill score. And NoT.Today is ahead in terms of the farm, though, and in terms of towers and everything else. So you're sort of sacrificing kills for towers. And while you can do that to some extent, after a certain point in time, once you end up losing tier 3s, it becomes so much harder for that to happen. 5-man smoke, I think this is what Leviathan need to do. They need to catch somebody out. They need to actually find an important kill here, but Invoker, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make it happen. We have a Gem of True Sight up on Jenkins, so he's going to be able to find him. Also on top of that, it's worth noting, Ember Spirit does have his Battle Fury, Daedalus, as well as an Ultimate Orb. Oh, here comes the initiation, potentially going to be able to find it. Where are you at? Schofield is going to end up going down there. Nicely done. One time, Wind Ranger ends up picking up the kill. So, like, I feel like at this point in time, Leviathan can win every single team fight that they're in almost. As long as they don't get, like, a terrible initiation, they're going to be fine. The problem is going to be actually pushing down these towers. And, like, at this point, they're getting less gold from the creep wave as well in the mid lane at least. Lone Druid is just going to continue to be able to farm on up more items here. It does have that demon edge on up. So, I don't know. It's becoming more and more difficult as this game goes on. Like, I was talking about at the beginning of this game how I felt like Ember Spirit gets to this point where you can't really deal with him effectively. He's so hard to push against. or he's so hard to push against, but he's also just like such a tremendous team fight hero. You've got Sleight of Fist with when you get the Battle Fury up, you know, you're dealing a heck of a lot of damage there, as well as the Daedalus. You're critting on top of people. It's physical damage not blocked by armor. It's just devastating to fight against. And the problem though is that if you can't push after the fact, if you can't push after taking a team fight, you know, at a certain point in time, you got to take objectives. And they were able to contest and take that Roshan, but it ended up being not quite at a point where Ember Spirit was hitting a power curve that he needed to be at. So Gem going to be the item picked up on the Night Stalker. We do have over here, again, the Ancient Apparition. He is working slowly on that Aghanim Scepter. He's been stuck at the same point for a little while now. I think last time I checked he was at about 1,800 away, and now he's at 1,600 away roughly. Pudge hasn't really progressed in items a ton either. The big key heroes here are going to be the Wind Ranger with that BKB up, as well as Daedalus Aghanim Scepter. Rubik is going to end up playing a big part as well once he ends up gaining about 700 more gold and gain that Aghanim Scepter. Already he's been having a really significant impact. Ooh, Ember. Might be able to find somebody here. No, not able to hit the chains, unfortunate there. But as soon as they end up showing, we get a rotation off to the side. Angel wants to be able to find him. Isn't going to be able to, unfortunately, though. And it looks like Leviathan are going to be content to just push out this bottom lane. So, as we're moving forward, Ember sitting at the top of the net worth, 1,900. Taking a look at it. NoT.Today still ahead by about 5k. EXP-wise, actually starting to swing into NoT.Today's way as well, because they've been able to split push the entire time that Leviathan has just been trying to push out the creep waves. Like, they've been able to take their jungle pretty significantly and effectively throughout the course of this. Roche is now back up though as well. Aghanim Scepter up on Rubik. This is actually huge. Okay, so next team fight. It looks like NoT.Today want to come and try and take this Roche. Can't blame them at all for that. Are Leviathan going to have any semblance of an idea that this is happening, though? Considering that the creep wave was pushed out, I think that they take this Roche quicker than Leviathan are going to be able to contest it. Well, maybe. They should know now. Yeah, they toss out the A blast. I think that at this point in time, Leviathan just need to book it down here. They're not going to be able to get there in time, I don't think. This is going to be the next really key component here, is are they going to be able to contest this and get here in time? Doesn't quite look at it. Oh, jump forward, maybe? No. That's going to be the Aegis picked on up in a second. Is going to get got by the Invoker. But Ancient Apparition does end up taking out the Winter Wyvern now. Jump forward again. Lone Druid in a little bit of trouble. Invoker on the high ground, not where he wants to be at all. Does toss out that Deafening Blast. That's going to be a Pudge down as well. Oh, Nusham getting chased down and killed really quickly. Wind Ranger ends up falling as well. Oh, Ember Spirit, what are you going to do? He can't fight this right now, honestly. Oh, God, so frustrating. Leviathan ended up losing 3 for 1. They were just there a couple of seconds too late. Weren't quite able to make it happen. Taking a look at that fight recap, NoT.Today up by about 2,600 there, and now they're feeling really content to push this on down. All right, what are buyback situations looking like? Wind Ranger has it. Nobody else does. Oh, God. I think, though, that the man damage dealers are still here, so that's going to be a jump forward, able to catch on to Angel, going to have to Remnant on back, but I don't know if they're going to be able to have enough damage to take down Spirit Bear before he's able to take down the barracks in return. The little silver lining here, Serpent Wards were used. All right, that's the range barracks going. Oh, God, it's a disaster. Leviathan, and now they're taking the tier 3s as well down bottom. Oh, God, Ember Spirit wants to be able to contest this. They've given up on the top racks. They're just going to try and defend the bottom ones now if they possibly can. Flying Zebra Dota moving forward yet again. Ends up getting meatballed now. Ember Spirit with the Chilling Touch. Maybe the jump forward. Nice hook there. Schofield does end up going down as well. So they looks like they're going to be able to hold. Now can they get any return kills as well? Oh, Ember Spirit trying to find his initiation point. That's the jump forward. Spirit Bear is going to fall. But is it enough? Oh my God, Invoker has 6k in the bank. Are you kidding me right now? Oh no, fight recap. I mean, it's not really giving you the full story in terms of the really significant gold gain they were able to get. Lone Druid is going to be picking up an Ags next. All of a sudden, he doesn't care about Spirit Bear going down, and it looks like, oh my God. Are you kidding me? As soon as you show on the map, though, this is the component that's really dangerous about this, though, is that the Ember Spirit, now that he has the travels up, now that he has the Lincoln Sphere, he's less afraid of people being able to initiate on him, and they realize right now we need to take towers. We need to take racks. If we don't, we're going to end up losing this game. And I think that they feel a little bit comfortable doing it. That being said, Night Stalker does still have buyback at this point in time. Shadow Shaman is going to be back up as well. Do they have enough? This is the real question. Aghanim Scepter is up on Shadow Shaman as well. Aghanim Scepter up on Lone Druid. The fortification comes out, so it looks like they are going to defend the tier 3 if Leviathan still push here. I don't think that Leviathan can back down, though. They have to keep pushing at this point, because if they don't, they're just going to end up losing. And so, no fortification is a nice little bit there as well. Tornado does come down. There's Nusham being able to catch one more time. Is able to steal Deafening Blast, but he's getting isolated as well. Oh, Jenkins doesn't end up hitting the hook. That is going to be a shackle. Doesn't end up latching. That's going to be Invoker taking on the Rubik. And now Leviathan has to back. Oh, God, it's really not good. They are going to be able to deal a good amount of damage there with the Sleight of Fist continuing to get popped off from the Ember Spirit. Jump forward yet again. Invoker doesn't quite able to catch, unfortunately. The Blink Dagger Force Staff, a little bit too much mobility for him. Aegis reclaimed in 2 minutes. It looks like they're going to have to defend these other towers here. Barracks are exposed in the bottom lane. We did have Ember Spirit push it out as much as possible, but at this point in time, you're looking at a situation where you don't really have the possibility to defend. And honestly, they can push straight on in through the mid on NoT.Today now and take it on out if they want. Aegis still going to be back up. Oh, no. Flying Zebra Dota, first hit, Entangle. That's going to be a kill. They do end up catching on a Spirit Bear with the hook, but it's not going to be enough. He was really looking for that Ancient Apparition to keep him alive. Now the jump forward. Spirit Bear don't give a damn. He's going to end up shackling. Doesn't really connect onto that. That's the jump forward yet again. Schofield in a little bit of trouble. That is going to be a Tornado to keep him alive a little bit longer. Force Staff as well. Not going to be able to save his life yet again. Meatball coming down on top of Shibby. He's going to have to run. Ember Spirit in the thick of things. They don't end up hitting on the hook, unfortunately. Shackles onto the lone Druid. Spirit Bear might dead it again. This is going to be a disaster if he does end up going down. That's going to be a kill. Do they have the potential to reinitiate yet again? Ember Spirit chasing. He wants blood. Oh my God, are you kidding me? The damage. Alacrity is up from the Invoker, but it's not going to be enough. That's going to be Aegis popped. Do they have the potential to reinitiate, though? That's the real question. Nusham is going to be able to catch one more time yet again, trying to jump forward. He's going to end up going down. Invoker is going to end up getting killed a second time. Aegis spurned. About a 1,700 gold swing into their favor. Holy Toledo. Leviathan are bringing it back. Like, they're down 2 sets of racks. The barracks are still exposed. It's a 10k net worth lead, but Leviathan are winning every team fight. Like, I don't know. I'm not really sure about this. How are you going to make this happen? NoT.Today are looking in a really good spot, but like all of their stuff is built around being able to just push on up and take down this last racks, and they need to be able to do that. The Wind Ranger shackle onto Spirit Bear, killing it a second time, was so key. That's another 100 seconds now where they're not going to be able to push on up. Also worth noting, the Aegis expiring, or not expiring, being killed twice on the Invoker is huge as well. So Pudge is going to pick up a Ghost Scepter now, wanting to stay alive as long as possible. Nusham having his Aghanim Scepter again makes a pretty big difference. Honestly, at this point, Leviathan, considering that the buybacks are somewhat slow, I think that they take a fight here and just try and push for tier 4s. They can really out DPS the enemy. They're going to be able to clear this creep wave with a quickness. A lot of the lanes are pushed out. We're seeing Lone Druid do exactly what he needs to by pushing on out the bottom lane, but with no buybacks on these heroes except for the Invoker and the Night Stalker, is it going to be enough? I feel like they're in a position where they can really push their luck here. Oh, A is going to end up backing on out. Oh no, they need to defend. This is the right decision, but it's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the base race. Instead, we're going to be seeing the racks defend, which is fine. Oh, Night Stalker ends up taking out the Wind Ranger. That's huge. She has buyback, yes, but God, you don't want to have to use it now. And with that pickoff, they're going to be comfortable. This is the thing that you're consistently seeing here by NoT.Today, and what they're doing a great job of is when the disengage happens, they're finding 1 or 2 targets and then taking them on out. Oh man, what a game. DD picked up on the Winter Wyvern. Not the most common thing in the world. Ember has another Daedalus now, though. Double Daedalus. He's got a Lincoln's. He's got a Battle Fury. Still drums. Could probably trade that out at some point. But this is also going to be no buyback for him. This is their last hurrah. This is what they're doing. This is going to be the last little engagement here. And if they don't win this one, I feel like they're not going to be able to make it happen at all. So jump forward, hook, immediately catch on the Schofield. Nicely done. Destruction abound. Spirit Bear is going to get lifted here as well. Do they have the possibility? You can't lose Spirit Bear at this point because there's no resummon. So you can't. Oh, there is a resummon. Never mind. I'm dumb. Okay, yeah, there is still a resummon. All right, so they can't afford to lose him. Still don't want to if they don't have to. But that was such a key pickoff there. Schofield just moving a little bit too far forward, ends up getting caught. That means that there's not going to be any wards down. He has Aghanim Scepter wards up as well. So NoT.Today are going to have to back out yet again. That is such a huge pickoff. All right, Goody now, bottom lane. Does have the Glimmer Cape on up yet again. It looks like Leviathan are going to be going for blood. Why are you doing this? Dota 2, please. Oh, God, I'm crashed out. What the heck is going on? Oh, Reborn. Update queued. What is this? Oh, no. Jesus, are you kidding me? Oh, what is going on? Why are you timing an update for right now? I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Can't do anything about this. Hopefully everybody else crashes. That way it's a pause, but my goodness gracious. Volvo, please. I don't want to view updates. I just want to watch the game. I just want to watch the game. Holy fuck. Come on now. All right, we're almost there.